Today is Friday, May the 24th, and we just finished the fifth lower week in a row. So that sort of sums up this week as well. Let's look overall at the markets. Volume was miserable in the Dow, very low in the NASDAQ, very low in the S&P. We started off with a pop and quickly faded, and then started to recover somewhat in the Dow, but never recovered to the open or to the first candle. NASDAQ, big pop, and then just a steady decline. S&P, modest pop, and a steady decline to end 4 points over yesterday. The advances led decliners by 65% to 30%. Which is going to give the McClellan oscillator on Monday morning, when we look at it, a bounce off of the median, low median, where we see bounces typically occurring, like back here, like here, and like here. Doesn't mean we're going back to zero, but we will have something in this area of momentum returning to a positive nature on Monday. So the S&P looked like this for the day, for the week. At one point, you see the bottom of the candle this week was right here, was exactly the Chiku span bumping off of the 50-day simple moving average. So we had that happen this week, and we finished just a little bit up of that. On the daily chart, we saw the 50 acting as support yesterday for the Chiku span on the daily basis, and then it stayed well clear of the 50 today. Apple, the story about Apple today was the 15-minute chart. After this pop up, to be stopped by fairly decent, this is all the resistance that the cloud was going to provide, and sellers were waiting right at the cloud, and they started selling, and they continued to sell. And anytime buyers tried to take it into the 15-minute cloud, they were met with sellers. Sellers were simply lowering their bids at the cloud level, and they were using the 15-minute cloud to trade Apple. Let's just look at it on a daily basis. Not a very nice picture. We've lost the 200 some time ago. We lost it on Tuesday. We lost it on Monday. And on a weekly basis, doesn't look much better. We've got the Chiku span, which is going to be right here, which is going to open Monday with support on that weekly candle. So I'm calling for Apple on Monday to get support right here and move up. So let's see if that happens. Caterpillar, not much happening. This is not going anywhere for a long time. Gold miners, this is their weekly chart, still beating around in the weekly cloud. But what we have here is last week resistance on the 200, and this week resistance on the 200 for the Chiku span again. So we need to break free of the 200 because the Chiku span has been very important. And let's just look at why. Support on the 200, rejection on the cloud, fell below the 200 but came up to get rejection on the cloud. Then another rejection on the cloud, rejection on the 200. So the Chiku span is really the one to watch here if you're trading the gold miners. T, which has a pretty nice dividend right now, finished at the upper part of its trading range for the week. Western Digital, nothing's going to happen until there's good news for the chip makers with regards to Huawei and to China. and Whirlpool continues to be a badly battered stock and has now fallen below the 200-day moving average. And you want to stay clear of this stock for a long time now because the 50 is going to come down below the 200. We were looking to buy it after this test of a trend line that started back here in July, trend line February, third hit of the trend line in April. We watched it pull back. We were going to buy if the fourth time was magic and it beat the trend line, but it did not. We said that we could have been buyers here at the 200 and sellers at the bottom of the cloud. Anybody who did that, made a profit between here and here. And if people kept it, I did say that there was going to be resistance at the 200. It never made it to the 200, and we've fallen below. That's the 200 exponential moving average. Now we've fallen below the 200 simple moving average, and we said that this was the place to get out. Once it fell below the 200 to get out. We've now had it close below the 200, so I'm presuming nobody's in Whirlpool anymore. So have a good long weekend. Thank you very much for listening.